Hello guys, welcome to my channel Cop Crunch. On this channel, we talk about the latest transfer gossip surrounding Liverpool, and at the same time, we also talk about how new signings are going to impact the team and our season going forward. So let's get started. So, to start off today's video, I would like to first talk about the two friendly games that we played yesterday. In the first game, we defeated Athletic Club Bilbao by 4-1, and in the second game, we defeated them by 3-2. If I look at the lineup, it seems that in the first game, both teams decided to line up with their French players or youngsters, in case of Liverpool especially. We saw Nyoni in the centre back position, and at the front, we saw Ben Doak and Rio leading the line along with Darwin Nunez. Let's talk about some of the key takeaways from the first game. And I think you cannot start this conversation anywhere other than Rio. I mean, Rio and Ngumoha is a special talent. Everyone will agree that. And the fearlessness that he showed yesterday in making those runs, in attacking the defenders, in finding those key passes, is just exceptional for his age. At 16 years of age, he's playing the way you expect a 23, 24-year-old to play, who is about to get into their prime. I saw some conversations online yesterday comparing Rio's situation to what happened with Salah. Chelsea let go of Salah, and you saw what he became. I think we can see a similar kind of a scenario happening for Rio as well. He has the talent to be one of the best players in the league, but at the same time, he is just 16 years old. So we need to manage his minutes, manage his workload, and at the same time, keep his feet on the ground. And if we are able to achieve that, then the sky is the limit for him. Because Arne Slot is capable of transforming players. We have seen this last year. No one expected Ryan Gravenberg to work so well in a CDM position. No one expected that. He was playing as a 8 throughout his career. No one has had tried him in the number 6 position before Arne Slot did it. So he definitely has the nag of improving players. So I expect a really bright future for Rio. At the same time, another player who has flown under the radar this preseason is Trey Nyoni. I mean, a 17, 18-year-old player playing out of position and playing the way he plays. Accuracy of his passes. I was seeing some numbers from one of the preseason games. It's like 95, 98% is pass accuracy and pass completion. That's just insane for such a young player. And not just that, his ability to take the ball forward, his ability to connect with everyone else in the midfield. I think that proves that we have another superstar in the making in Trey Nyoni. And we, at the same time, we also have Ryan's successor. And I think that should be it from the first game. I don't see any other pointers to talk about. Now let's talk about the second game. In this game, we had all the big guns on the field. You had your Mohamed Salah on the right wing, you had Cody Gakpo on the left wing, you had Hugo Ekitike in the middle, and Florian Wirtz controlling everything from behind these three. Talking about some of the key players or key takeaways from this second game, first off, Mohamed Salah. I mean, there is not enough that you can speak about that guy. The kind of passes that we saw in the first half yesterday, where he found Florian Wirtz as well as I think Dominic Szobosalai with those key precision injection type passes. That's only Mohamed Salah who can do it. There are very, very, very few players in the world who can create those passes. And that's why he's so special. And I don't really believe that in the coming season, he's going to be any worse than what he was last year. Maybe with a better squad of players around him, he can prove out to be even more of a creator than what he was last year. And even the thought of it is very, very frightening. Because if you think about it, at this point of time, this group of players is still gelling up. It's not that this is not the final product that you saw yesterday. It's going to improve even further. It was just a preseason friendly game. I think we will start to get the best out of these players maybe in the coming games or maybe in the by the second or third week of the Premier League. Because you saw Florian Wirtz yesterday, in certain situations, he did not make the best of the season. We could have scored even more goals. But sometimes he lost the ball. Sometimes other players lost the ball. But then they are still getting along with each other, right? I think it's very early to judge the players on the basis of these kind of performances. But at the same time, you can see the direction that we are going, which is very very important. Another thing that we wanted to talk about, Cody Gap. He scored 2 goals again yesterday, and I think he has been scoring goals throughout this preseason. In the first game, you saw how Rio put a stake on his position. He told the world that I am coming for that left wing position. I am ready. I want game time. He was telling the manager that by his performance. But then Cody Gakpo comes in the second game and does what he does. And even in the first half, there were a couple of very good chances where Cody Gakpo could have scored. But the second goal that he scored yesterday, that shows why Cody Gakpo deserves the starting position in this team. That is the reason why you have someone as experienced as him playing for Liverpool. And under his shadow, you will have players like Rio and some of the others. This is a learning curve for all of them. And lastly, from the second game, I would like to talk about Hugo Ekitike. You saw the reason why we signed Hugo Ekitike. You saw the first game in which you had Darwin Nunez, who was again getting into good positions to score. He is not able to, you know that. But then at the same time, he was getting into the good positions. But when Hugo Ekitike come in the second game, you saw what is different. He's able to glue the attack together, whether it's players on his right, players on his left, players behind him. He's able to glue it together, and he's able to get into positions and like the assist he provided for Mohamed Salah, right? It was because he was into that position where he can provide that pass. He has the ability to take on defenders and then make some key passes, like he did yesterday for Mohamed Salah, which is a very very positive sign, and which also shows that if we sign Alexander Isak, which is not a big if, it's a very small if, we are going to sign him. But when we sign Alexander Isak, then there can be certain games where we can have both of them play together, where Hugo Ekitike can come from the left, Salah can come from the right, and Alexander Isak in the middle. And Hugo Ekitike has proved that he's perfectly capable of playing in that position because he had done that with Marmoush last year as well. It was that combination which made Eintracht, which made Frankfurt the team it was last year. Another player that I would like to talk about is Dominic Szoboszlai. I mean, when we signed Florian Wirtz, everyone was saying, "Oh, now what will happen to Dominic Szoboszlai? Will he be on the bench for the rest of the season? How is he going to fit in the team? We already have Alexis McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch in the team. So where is Soboslai going to fit in?" And at that time, the statement came out of Dominic. He said, if someone joins the team and they want a position, they need to fight for it. And he is not going to let go of his position so easily. And it proves with Florian Wirtz coming in, he needs to play in a deeper position. And he showed how well he does that yesterday. Last year, he was constantly being criticized for not scoring enough goals or providing enough assists. And as per my understanding, he is much better coming in from those deep positions instead of playing as solely a number 10. So I think that's all from the two games that we played yesterday. Now let's talk about some transfer news. And I know what you guys want to talk about. Alexander Isak, right? Because everyone is talking about Alexander Isak. So what is the latest development there? Let's see. Alexander Isak has joined back Newcastle training starting yesterday. There were some very strongly worded comments coming out of Eddie Howe yesterday for his player. Anything he said, no player can expect to act poorly and train with the group as normal. Well, he was not acting poorly. From what I could get from hearing Newcastle journalists is this position could have been avoidable. Alexander Isak asked for a certain amount of money and he was not paid that last year. He would have signed a new contract. He would have stayed at Newcastle. But then it did not happen. And the reason is has nothing to do with player conduct. It's how Newcastle has been run. I was listening to Alan Shearer yesterday as well. He was also mentioning that they don't have a CEO of football, they don't have a sporting director. Then who is making those decisions? Or whether the player is going to stay or player is going to leave. So in that case, how can you blame a player for wanting to go? A player's career is not 50 years or 70 years. He is going to be in his prime for next 5 to 7 or 8 years. That's all. Or maximum 10, but not more than that. So he cannot wait for next 5 years for Newcastle to become a big team and start winning big trophies. They won a trophy after around 70 years last year, right? So he cannot wait 5 years for Newcastle to become a team who starts challenging for the Premier League or who starts challenging for the Champions League, because by that time his career will be over. So he needs to consider his own benefits as well, right? So then it begs the question, when is it going to happen? And for that, I guess you need to look at this story. Now, whatever I said about Isak, we want him to join Liverpool. And that ties down to this situation of Benjamin Sesko. Because until unless Benjamin Sesko joins Newcastle, Isak cannot join Liverpool. So in that case, what's going on here? Newcastle makes an improved bid for RB Leipzig forward. So we were hearing that Newcastle was ready to make a bid for 2 3 days now, and finally they have made a bid of 90 million euros, or around 70 million pounds, something like that. I think they have already made in the bid. They have submitted the bid to RB Leipzig. So it's not that in case of Benjamin Sesko, it's not blocked by the club like it was for the case of Victor Gyökeres. It was blocked by the club. Club was not ready to sell him. But in case of Benjamin Sesko, it's about the player making the decision on who he wants to join, whether he wants to join Newcastle, or if he sees that Manchester United has a better project in hand. And I think we are close to him making that decision. I don't think that this saga is going to continue for very long time. It should close in this week, most likely. So in that case, we will make another video for how Alexander Isak is going to fit into the system of Liverpool. And with all these new signings, how it is going to look like, how exciting it is going to look like next year. So now, finally, I wanted to talk about another thing. So this is something which we have all been waiting for a long time. I think the entire preseason, I guess, because we were seeing our players in the old jerseys. None of the new signings were getting their numbers announced, all that. And all of it because we were waiting for this news to come out. LFC and Adidas start 10-year partnership and reveal new home and away kits. And I think the kits look dope, uh, especially the full sleeve ones. If you look at this picture, oh man, this is really, really good. So the same kits are now available on Adidas India as well, although they are quite expensive to be very honest. And that's all for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching. If you like my content, please share and subscribe. It's a new channel. With that, let's meet again soon. Thank you guys.